Good evening. I think it's only right that we jump on live after such a great main event tonight on Boxer. So we jumped on for a live. It lasts as long as it lasts. Joined by Sean. Good evening, Sean.
Evening, mate.
And joined by Andy. Good evening, Andy. How you going?
Yeah, buzzing, mate. What a fight.
Brilliant. So there's only one place to start. I don't know who wants to take it away. I'll let you fight it out amongst yourself. I think we better start with the main event tonight, haven't we? So, lads, whoever jumps in first starts it.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone anticipated it ending like that. I know you both thought Liam would win, but it was absolutely unbelievable. And, for Chris Eubank Jr. to even get hit like that, let alone lose, I just never saw that in a million years. I mean, I don't know what you both think, but I'm just in a bit of shock, I think.
Andy?
Still trying to take it in a little bit, if I'm being honest, mate. I think a few of us predicted Liam Smith would win. I don't think anybody, as Sean's just said, I don't think anybody saw a stoppage, let alone in that fashion. Was it you predicted a late stoppage, Cole? Someone predicted a late stoppage for Liam, but no one expected it to be like that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's various scenarios. Either Liam bangs harder at 1-6, that bit of weight that he hasn't got to shift. Eubank is less durable down at 1-6 there. I've always said he's a big 1-6 there. The one thing it brings to mind to me is how would he have coped in the Conor Benn fight? It makes it a little bit even more intriguing, to be honest. Because the punch resistance definitely wasn't there, was it?
No. Well, I'll be absolutely honest, mate. I don't think he goes anywhere near the rematch with Liam. I think he makes more money in the Conor Benn fight, and I think that happens. I think Conor Benn will want it even more because he's seen what's just happened, and he'll think he's got a better chance of knocking Eubank out. That fight gets made really, really easy, obviously, and there's more money in it. If Eubank thinks he's got anything left for one last dance, then he takes the Conor Benn fight. I don't think for a second he goes anywhere near Liam Smith again.
His ego might not allow him not to take that Liam Smith rematch. Big stadium fight. They're talking about Anfield. There's a few pound notes in that one as well.
Yeah, I get that.
I think he will.
No, I get what you're saying. And straight after the fight, he still thinks he could have carried on. But when he watches it back and he sees how devastating the knockout is and how easy it was to hit in that combination, he's going to think twice about it. There is one thing I will bring up though, and I said it on the live, and that is that nobody's made Eubank work constantly for 3 minutes every round. And at the end of round 3, they went to his corner and he was blowing. Now, I'm not saying he was absolutely knackered, but I've never seen Eubank tired in a fight. I've never seen him blowing in a fight. He was blowing after 3 rounds because he was made to work for every second of every round. Now, even though it didn't look like Liam was doing a lot, he was making Eubank move constantly.
Well, he was feinting a lot, Liam Smith. You could hear his corner shouting, couldn't you? Feint, feint, feint. So
he was making him work constantly. Now, that can have an impression on somebody's punch resistance if they're tired. But I was talking to Sean off camera. The combination that landed, that put him down for the first time, was outstanding. The uppercut, the left hook, and I think 2 or 3 more went in as well. They were perfect, Cole, right on the button, and they're putting anybody down them shots.
I think he fights. I think he'll fight the rematch, which no doubt will be this summer at Anfield, is what I'm hearing. Because Conor Benn's going to need a bit of time, isn't he? So then I think naturally the Conor Benn versus Eubank Jnr fight, if it happens, will happen autumn, winter. Because Conor Ben's going to need a tune-up, isn't he? He can't just come out of this period of inactivity and jump straight in with Eubank.
Well, when he sees what's just happened to Eubank, he might not think he needs it. I honestly think. I know Eubank put that rematch clause in, but he put that rematch clause in if it was a tight points decision, a bit controversial when he lost. He didn't put it in there thinking he was getting knocked out in 4 rounds in the fashion that he did. When he's cleared his head, mate, and he's sat down in the cold light of day and watched it, I don't think he'll want the rematch. Honestly, I really, really don't. I think the only fight he's going to go for now is either Conor Ben or, thinking about it, Billy Joe Saunders as a rematch.
Yeah, I disagree. I think his ego won't allow him not to take it. Evening, Lee.
Evening, guys.
Thoughts?
I don't even know where to begin. Yeah, wow. Chris Eubank Jr. humbled again on the big stage. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy. I wasn't writing Liam Smith off in this fight. I certainly didn't see it going that way. I thought if Liam Smith won, I thought it would be points or possibly late. I certainly didn't see him stopping him in the 4th round.
I don't think nobody did, if you're honest, did they? Let's be honest.
No.
Nobody thought it'd end that early.
No.
If you did, I hope you went to the bookies with it.
But it's the arrogance of him. Like he had his guard down. I mean, in the round before that, Eubank was going uppercut, and Liam was he was guard and he wasn't coming back with anything. I thought it's done look good here, but then Eubank drops his guard. What's he expect? I don't know. He's not for me, Eubank Jr. I just don't think he just doesn't seem to cut it, does he? He's got. I think if you've got to have that level of arrogance, and he has got a very, very high opinion of himself, you've got to be able to back it up, and he hasn't.
You know, just on that, Lee. He was coming out with all this 50% malarkey beforehand.
He's a prat, yeah.
Obviously, a lot of that was tongue in cheek, but
yeah.
Deep down, do you think he actually thought it was going to be an easy night's work, and so that's why he fought the way he fought?
No.
I think he likes to think he's getting into the opponent's head, and I think I thought he had. I thought Liam Smith looked nervous. I thought he'd lost his head a little bit during the build-up to it, but I realised something tonight watching that, and it is, they say sort of level. I know there's not a lot in their ages, but there's a lot in where they've been in their careers, and Liam Smith's been in a lot more tougher battles. When they say like men against boys, that's kind of how, to me, it looked tonight. It's sort of Liam Smith taught him a lesson tonight. He humbled him.
But also, Liam said he's a slow starter into Liam Smith. He said it himself, and he didn't start great, did he? Let's be honest.
I thought he won the first round.
I thought he won the first round as well. But people sleep on Liam's style. The fact that he comes forward, he don't necessarily throw a lot in the early rounds. He does it every fight. That's his style. He's a pressure fighter that makes the opponents work constantly.
He's Mexican-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. Without throwing loads and loads of punch, he don't waste energy, Liam. He don't need to. He makes the opponent do that. Now, Eubank was pop shotting with them jabs and throwing the ridiculous highlight reel uppercuts. But what were they actually doing? Because Liam was taking a lot. I was saying to Carl, we watched the fight together. I was saying to Carl, Liam was taking a lot of them shots on his gloves. There were some getting through, but they weren't doing anything. Liam was barely marked.
He ate Eubank shots, didn't he? Let's be honest. None of them took real effect. I thought he looked very comfortable, to be honest. So
it annoyed me that I thought Eubank Jr. was going to win tonight. I said that the other night. It annoyed me having that opinion, and it annoys me even more now that I thought it. But I just thought he surely can't lose again on that stage. If he's got the level of arrogance he's got, if he wants to claim he's got surely he can't lose again at that level, and he has. I don't know where he goes from there. I think he's done.
Well, he'll take the rematch. That's what he'll do for a payday.
I don't think he will because of the weight.
I'll have another packet. I'll have another pack of Chewits with you that says he does.
You think he can cut that weight again, though? The trouble is, I don't know. He does not look good cutting that weight, does he?
I'm with you. I don't think he goes anywhere near the rematch.
He's got very few avenues left to explore, though, around that payday.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I know the payday. I know what you're saying, but I put it this way: looking at that tonight, Conor Benn would have beat him, and I'm not saying because of a bit or the size where he can't cut that weight. He would have had to cut even more. It wouldn't have been healthy for him. That's why his dad was obviously of the opinion that he was.
So if you're Roy Jones Jr., the man's a serial winner, and I don't think for a second he blows smoke up Eubank's arse. He might do in public. He might toe the Eubank line in public, but behind closed doors, I don't think for a second Roy Jones blows smoke up Eubank's arse. Does he? Is he the one to tell Eubank enough's enough?
I don't know. I don't know where he goes from there. I don't know who he can fight. I don't know what he can do. Honestly, I agree with what Carl's saying. It's like, yeah, if he doesn't have the rematch, then he ain't got a lot of other options, has he? But cutting that weight again, and it will be on Liam's terms. Liam even said he wanted lower weight. There's no way he's cutting anymore. I don't know. I don't like the bloke, but it's sad to see when it goes that way, I think.
How are you, little Penny?
Good. Hey, what about that knockout, huh? Damn, I had Eubank winning by KO. Instead, he got KO.
A few people have said that, mate.
I've not known you to get one right yet, little Penny. So what? Nothing changes, does it?
Hey, gotta activate the rematch.
What I do, little Penny, when you give a prediction, I go to the local bookmakers and put the opposite on.
He's got to activate that rematch, though. I think he can beat Liam Smith. He just has to stay away from him.
Come on, little Penny. After that performance, are you still one of these Eubank believers that thinks, okay, on the fifth occasion when he steps up, he'll actually win? Is that
who won the first 3 rounds?
Hey?
You know what it reminded me tonight of? It reminded me of Hey Bellew.
You're not actually going to tell me that you think that was a lucky knockout, are you?
No, it wasn't lucky. But he can box a little bit. He just has to move his feet. Eubank can't fight like Roy Jones Jr. because he's not Roy Jones Jr. Like,
let me break this down for you a little bit, little Penny.
Sorry?
Let me break it down a little bit for you. So the first round, when Liam Smith was throwing a few shots, he won that round. The second and third round, when he wasn't really throwing shots, he was just walking Eubank down and making him work. That's when it made it look like Eubank could box. But did you not notice that when Eubank was throwing them shots, his chin was up in the air?
Yeah.
He was wide open, mate.
Yeah, that Roy Jones technique. But the thing is, Roy Jones, he can get away with those punches because he was a freak athlete. Eubank is not a freak athlete. I think
you know what it is with Eubank? Eubank can't fight someone who is a clever boxer. He can stand toe to toe and have a fight with someone. As soon as you put him in against a clever boxer, Billy Joe Saunders, very, very clever boxer. George Groves, very, very clever. And same with Liam Smith.
George Groves is a clever boxer?
He was in the ring. He was.
Cobra sorted him out. It was never the same after he'd been Cobra'd. Come on, let's be honest.
Well, he still beat Eubank Jr. after that.
Well, what's
with
that?
one arm in the last
round.
round.
I'm just saying.
He beat Eubank Jr. with one arm in the 12th round.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm trying to make is when he comes up with someone who knows the game and knows what they're doing, he comes up short.
The truth is, Lee, dress up how you want, but he's just not world level, is it?
Yeah.
No, he's not. I'm not dressing it up. I'm just saying whenever he comes up against that. He can't do it. I'm not dressing up at all.
I'm not even sure he's a clever boxer. I just think his levels.
Welcome to the show, Stephen Crane, by the way. Little comments in the sidebar. Nothing left in the tank for Eubank.
Yeah,
and he
he's
agrees
old.
with a thumb up. I really don't. Eubank's one of these fighters. It's all about perception. It's all about perception, and how can you put this perception on that you're unbeatable when that's just happened? I just can't see how he comes out of this looking invincible again.
Very damaging result that tonight. It would have been damaging for either fighter, wouldn't it? It's a long way back.
A lot.
It wouldn't have been as damaging for Smith, because for Smith it would have been okay. I've had a good career.
I don't agree. Smith would have hung the gloves up if he got beat to Eubank.
That's what I'm saying. So he would have been like, all right, I lost tonight.
It's obviously damaging then, because it would have retired him.
No, but what I mean is let's still look back on a good career. With Eubank Jnr, he can't really do the same, can he? So it's a lot more damaging for Eubank Jnr than it would have been for Smith.
So
it's a bit irrational, Eubank Jnr. And he thinks he's going to get this fight with Triple G. So that's why another reason why I think he'll take the rematch.
Yeah, you might be right.
He has to take the rematch. He can't go anywhere without redeeming himself.
He can't cut that weight though again, or even possibly more. He can't do it. It's not healthy. He's drained.
Man, he looks so big in there. I'm just watching the replay. Like, man, he looks so
weak
big in there against.
He wasn't.
Liam Smith.
There's no
twice as big as him.
He will cut the weight again. He will cut the weight again for the rematch. He will. He just will.
Guys, there's no way that he was 159.
No way.
The first bell rang. It was probably more like 170. But the effects of cutting the weight, as Lee's just said, that's the damaging thing. You can put as much weight on as you want in that last 24 hours after weighing, but it's the damaging effect of what that cutting that weight and
what goes when you cut in weight the wrong way. What's the first thing to go? Punch resistance.
Yep.
I don't want this to turn into we're taking anything away from Liam Smith here, because the performance was outstanding.
Yeah. If he beats Eubank Jr. again, I think he should fight Conor Benn. Take down all of the British fighters, and then he fights Triple G.
You know who I think Liam Smith will fight? I think he'll fight Kell Brook.
Oh.
I hope not.
Kell Brook. Oh man,
you don't need them fights. You don't need them fights. Liam's a legacy fighter. He's not a showboat fighter. He's never been a showboat fighter.
Kell Brook is hanging around for a payday though, so it might not be a bad shot.
Oh, come on! I'll be very, very, very surprised. I'll be very, very, very surprised if Liam Smith goes down the route of taking them type of fighters when he's got an opportunity like a world title fight against Triple G. We
don't know he's got that opportunity yet, do we?
He doesn't beat Triple G.
Of course he does.
We don't know that yet. Triple G might not fancy it and go another route. Could be many options, couldn't there?
Triple G has nothing left, Lee.
Yeah, he's got nothing.
I disagree.
He's got an eye injury too.
Carl, can you see them comments in the side?
Comment in the side from Boxing Historian. Good evening, good night, whatever you want to call it. Good morning, even. Boxing Historian says, "Don't forget Liam has been in with Canelo. He's different level from Eubank." I think we're all echoing that. I think he demonstrated that tonight, to be honest.
Yeah.
One of Eubank's problems, I think he had, was I think simply his career has been too stop-start, and he's had too many breaks in between fights. He's never had a proper trainer. He's always had someone that at the last minute. I know Roy Jones has been in of late, but ultimately he's never knuckled down with someone and took it seriously. And for me, I think he's relied on his name too much as well. He's obviously felt that the Eubank name is going to carry him so far, and in reality, you still need the skills and have the desire yourself to back that up. And unfortunately for Eubank, I don't think he has.
And simply, Sean, too many yes men around him for too many years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good evening, Imran.
You would think though, with Ronnie Davis, although I think he's 77 or something now, you would think that he would have some bigger say than what he does, because I think he just refers to him as the wizard or something like that, and it's just, it's not only disrespectful for him. I just think he doesn't have any respect for anyone really. Once he's in the gym, he seems to think he knows best, and that's that.
Part of the problem is that he hasn't had to grind anything out. Paul Smith kind of touched on this in an interview this week, that Eubank's never had to walk into a damp, cold gym on a housing estate and work his way from nothing. He's always had the best of the best, and that kind of, I'm not saying it's an easy life, but growing up that kind of privileged life, and the fact that he's had a dad who was such a legend that he's learned everything from as a kid, and his dad's probably been a bit of an influence on who he's had as a trainer. That kind of adds up over the years, don't it?
Yeah. Boxing historian says it was a 50% thing that really annoyed everyone too. He's only a year younger than Smith and hasn't been near the level Smith has been at.
What annoyed me?
Hey, Carl, Eubank Jr., I think he got up too early in that first knockdown. He should have just calmed his head a little bit. I thought he
showed you where he was. He's showing you where he was mentally, because even when he got waved off, he had to be grabbed by a coach trying to fight with Liam Smith.
He got hit so hard he thought he was already in the rematch. That was the problem.
What annoyed me, boxing historian, just going on that comment, the 50% comment, what annoyed me wasn't that. It was the lack of respect that he had for Liam Smith's ability and what he's won.
That's all pantomime, though.
That's what did it for me. It just the arrogance that he disrespected everything Liam's achieved.
Yeah,
that's part of his persona, though, isn't it? Like that's why I don't like him. But it's all an act.
But in the rematch, he might give out 100%. Who knows?
So let's get Imran's views. And Imran, do you want to just take the floor and give us your breakdown of the fight? And Happy New Year, young man.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you guys. I hope you guys are all good. Little Penny, Andy, Sean, Lee. I hope you're all good. Yeah, in terms of the fight, I thought I personally, before the fight, I picked Eubank to win. I thought he'd win a points decision. But to see the way he crumbled after he got hit with a solid shot, yeah, it was staggering. Normally he's shown a good chin throughout his career, but yeah, I think it's that we're at the point of his career now where I think it's fair to say that he's not as great as what he's been promoted out to be. I mean, what more can you say about Eubank? I just think he's a little, not little, but quite. He's overrated, to be honest with you. I think he's very, very overrated. But yeah, Smith did the job, went in there and really was a pretty one-sided in the end. I mean, he hit him with a couple of shots.
Yeah. From a legacy point of view, I think it would have been better if Eubank fought Triple G. He got knocked out by Triple G instead of getting knocked out by Liam Smith.
You know what? I don't even think those fights should be sanctioned. I mean, I think it would be dangerous putting him in there with fighters like that. If Liam Smith is doing that to you, I mean, imagine what Canelo or Golovkin would do. They would.
No, I mean like 5 years ago. Remember 5 years ago where they were supposed to fight?
Yeah, I think it would. Golovkin was in his prime at that point, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have destroyed him. I don't think those fights should be sanctioned, and I don't want to hear about Eubank fighting Canelo or Golovkin because that's a whole different level. I mean, we saw Canelo against Smith. And we saw what happened in that fight. I mean, so if Smith is doing that to him, then those guys shouldn't even be mentioned because that'd be dangerous as far as I'm concerned.
Now, we've had this debate before, Imran, regarding Liam Smith, where I've rated him, let's say, higher than you have. Where do you put him now, Imran?
I still don't know because I still feel the same way in terms of I think if he steps up and fights Golovkin, he gets beat. If he steps up and fights Jamel Charlo at 154, he gets beat. My opinion's not really changed because I've never really rated Eubank that highly, although I'll give Smith the credit because I was picking Eubank to win the fight.
Yeah.
So you have to give Smith credit because he was not just he was the underdog in this fight. You know, I know there was people that thought that he could win, but he was the underdog in this fight. So you have to give him respect. But still, Carl, if we look at his career and we look at Liam Smith's career, if you look at his resume, I mean, even at 154, I know he's not really fought at 160, but you can't really name many world-class fighters he's beaten at 154 that are natural 154 pounders. He beat Vargas, but Vargas was at the end of his career. I mean, and he was a 140 pounder, really. So I'm saying, I don't think his resume for me is strong enough. If he goes and beats a Golovkin, then fair play. I'll say, you know what? The guy's just beating Golovkin.
Hey, Imran, that Vargas that Pacquiao beat, is it?
Yeah,
is
but
it
that's
that
not
Vargas?
the same. Yeah, Jesse Vargas. Yeah,
Jesse Vargas. Yeah. He's not bad. He's not bad.
But I don't think Vargas is fought after that. He's finished. I mean, he wasn't really a 154 pounder.
No, he's more of a welterweight.
Yeah.
Didn't he have a good fight against Broner as well?
Yeah, but I mean, again, Broner's a 135, 140 pounder guys, you know.
He can beat Berlanga though, Imran, Liam Smith.
Sorry?
He can beat Berlanga though. I don't know if he can beat like Munguia, but I think he can beat Edward Berlanga.
What about Tim Tszyu?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good fight.
I think he's overrated, Tim Tszyu.
I don't know about that.
I know he's from your part of the world, little pennies, and you're going to get all
against
upset
what's his name, Charlo.
You talk about who Liam Smith is for. Who's Tim Tszyu for?
That's true.
I don't rate. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Tim Tszyu either. I mean, I think Charlo's gonna destroy him, to be honest.
But Imran, the fact that he took on that fight against Charlo, it means something to his psyche. Like he probably thinks he can beat him.
But he can't keep fighting taxi drivers in Australia, can he? Eventually, he's got to step up and bite the bullet.
Yeah.
But do you give him a chance against Charlo? Do you give him a chance, Carl, against Charlo?
A little bit. I do. A little bit. Because he can punch. He can punch.
Carlo's levels
a little bit,
him.
but he's not going to...
You've got your Oceania underpants on there, haven't you, little penny? Come on, you biased. He gets smashed by Charlo.
Yeah.
He probably will.
You need to learn, little penny. There's no bias on this channel.
So you reckon no chance?
You mentioned Lebo.
Guys, you know what I wouldn't want to see though? I wouldn't want to see Liam Smith fight Kell Brook and not Kell Brook out.
No.
I mean,
yeah.
I think that's what's gonna happen. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it's what's gonna happen.
I really hope not, Imran. I really hope not. Liam Smith don't need that fight. He don't need that fight.
What about Conor Ben? Conor Ben, Liam Smith.
From this.
What about Conor Ben, Liam Smith?
Listen, hold on a sec, little penny. Liam Smith's put himself in a position now. Whether he stays at middleweight is another matter, but he's put himself at number 2 in 2 of the governing ranking bodies now by beating the number 2. So why would you then take a fight with a fighter that's retired just for the payday when you've got an opportunity to fight for a world title? I mean, that's legacy. We're talking about legacy here and making himself a 2-weight world champion.
He's not dismissed it, Andy, has he? He's not dismissed that fight. He's not
saying he's got the opportunity, though. We don't know he has got the opportunity for the world title fight, though, do we?
Yeah, he's put himself, Lee. I know we're talking possibilities here because the fight's only just happened, but he's put himself at the world number 2 in 2 governing bodies. He's going to get a world title shot. He will get a world title shot.
Isn't Kell Brook retired? He said he's retired, right?
Yeah, but he's still like considering coming back. But Andy, put yourself in Liam Smith's shoes, right? Put yourself in Liam Smith's. You just say you're Liam Smith, right? And you've got an opportunity to fight Kell Brook, who you're gonna get what, maybe 2, 3, 4 million, whatever he gets, right?
At Anfield.
In a fight that you know that you're gonna win, most likely 90% chance, right? He's gonna win that fight, more than 90%, maybe 95%.
Really?
Yeah,
Nah.
I don't give Brook much of a chance in that fight.
Brook ain't got much left.
I mean, so and Liam Smith.
Oh yeah, but he's got a bigger chance than that.
What you
Maybe
think? Kell Brook's
75.
got more? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think Kell
I think
Brook.
Amir Khan flattered him in that.
Yeah, no.
Kell Brook's punch resistance is non-existent, mate.
I reckon
Look at-
Tin
look at
Zoo's
Brook
got a
fight.
better chance of beating Charlo than Kell Brook beating Liam Smith.
Let me just be
Probably
comment
about
on
the
the
same.
side. So, Box Historian says, let's calm down, lads. Smith has only beat Eubank Jr. It wasn't even an eliminator, never mind a final eliminator for a world title.
It puts him in a
Yeah,
position.
in fairness, you guys are almost talking like he's Canelo.
Listen, all it takes is for the mandatory, the number 1 spot fighter to turn down the shot, and then it goes to the number 2 fighter. That's how it works.
He's not going to have long left in his career.
Hold on, let me finish. When you've got a big backer like Sky Sports behind you, they'll back Liam to the hilt now. He's their golden ticket now.
I don't know about golden ticket, but
Who else? Go on, okay, Little Penny. Who else have they got
on Sky?
Azim.
Who else have they got at world level?
Doesn't Sky have? Don't they have the
Coley.
boxer?
They have Taylor, don't they? They have
haven't
Taylor.
got a Coley yet.
Yeah.
They got a Coley and
Tony
Taylor.
signed under.
What? Well, they've just bought Joe Parker over, paying him an absolute fortune, and he looks like a pile of crap tonight.
I hope Liam does get the push.
Am I wrong?
No, he will get the push.
I hope Liam Smith does get the push by a boxer, because let's have it right. He's been with Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn and not been given the push he deserved.
He's going to be given the
it's
push.
well overdue, to be honest.
Whatever he wants, and he'll get a world title shot. Mark my words. He will not take that Kell Brook fight next. He might take it as a last dance. He might take it as a massive payday at the end of his career. If Kell Brook still wants it, in maybe a year's time, he ain't taking that fight next. He'll take a world title.
I reckon he'd take that money.
You want a pack of Chewits on that, Andy?
Hey?
We'll have a pack of Chewits on it, yeah?
I'll tell you what, mate. I'll have a pack of 4. How about that?
He is confident.
Oh,
Andy, if Imran is right, like say
that's too rich for me, mate.
If they offer him 2 to 3 million, right, and he knows he can win that fight, he'll probably take that, man, because it's an easy
That fight makes sense. It makes sense for Kell Brook. Come back for one last payday. Makes sense for Liam Smith. Probably sells out Anfield. Good way to end your career.
Just to jump in a minute. Boxing Historian said, why are we even talking Brook?
Exactly.
Because they've been talking about Brook all week. That's
why.
why.
The fight that happens next. That's why.
Here's my opinion. And I might be wrong because I don't know Liam Smith, but I think Liam Smith's a legacy fighter, not a money fighter.
I think that's wishful thinking, Andy.
Of course, he wants to be.
They're all money fighters. They're all money fighters.
Throw out some names that you.
They're not all money fighters. Not everybody just wants.
They are.
Not everybody sells themselves to.
They are, mate. They are. They all are. That's all the reason they do it, mate. They're all money fighters.
It's not the reason they all do it, Lee. It's not the reason they all do it. Some people want to win world titles and have a legacy and be the best.
He's won a world title. He's done that.
Can I just ask Imran a question?
If he's not doing it at 2 weights, he's got the opportunity to do that.
Let Little Penny come in.
Yeah. Imran, do you think that Eubank Jr. will exercise that rematch clause next?
I don't know. I think he's dead at the weight. I think he should move up. So I'm not sure.
His ego won't allow him to, Imran. His ego will not allow him not to take that rematch. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree.
His ego won't allow him to take the rematch, but his body might not allow him to make the weight, though. I mean, it's dangerous.
So the comment that he made when he was asked in the ring, Carl, speaks volumes. So when he was asked about the rematch clause, he said, if the fans want it. Not, I I've got a rematch clause. I want the rematch
again,
clause.
you're splitting hairs. What he means by
No,
that is the money there? Is the money there? If the money's there and the fans want it, he'll take it. That's what he means by that.
Yeah.
Can it generate the income?
Well, the money's obviously there, isn't it? Regardless.
Not if nobody
Whether the
wants
fans
it. It's not. Not if nobody wants it.
I think that rematch will be big, man.
So boxing historian says every boxer in professional fighting is a prize fighter. That's their job. They all do it for money, not for fun.
Right. No, I get that to a point. To a point. I get that to a point. But there's a difference between being a prize fighter and then selling yourself and taking anything just for the money. Like a Eubank. Because that's all Eubank's done for his whole career. Eubank's never tried to win a world title properly.
At Smith's point in his career, he's earned the right to do that.
And of course he has. Of course he has. But in my opinion, I think he'll try and win another world title first before he goes and takes them money fights.
But Andy,
I don't think he's got many. I don't think he's got many more left in him.
I think he's got more than you think, mate. I think he's got more than you think.
Go on in, man.
I was gonna ask Andy, who against who though? Which fight? Who do you want to see him fight? Who do you want to see Liam Smith fight?
In my opinion, Imran,
yeah,
he beats Golovkin.
Oh,
really?
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
definitely not. No, different
class.
Golovkin,
Golovkin's done. Golovkin is done.
He's got a little bit left though.
He has nothing left.
Oh, he's not killed Brock or anything.
That's a ridiculous statement to say he's got nothing left. That's ridiculous.
Why is it?
I think that
he went 12
that's just
rounds
a
with Canelo.
ridiculous
Liam Smith
comment.
got knocked out against Canelo like 5 years ago. I mean, Golovkin at 40 still went 12 rounds. Went the distance. He's obviously still tough.
Imran, did you watch the fight?
Yeah, I did. It was one-sided.
But that's
that's Canelo.
That's like saying Manny Pacquiao had nothing left when he went and beat Keith Thurman.
And boxing historian says, "Come on, Andy. Triple G's sitting in 3 world titles right now. Laugh out loud."
He is in a very average division.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. Because those guys aren't fighting each other like Charlo.
No, they're not.
Andy, I still think
that's why he's got 3 belts.
Andy, I still think that Golovkin beats Charlo, let alone Liam Smith. I think he beats Jamal Charlo. I do.
Yeah, I could see that.
Honestly, I still think he beats Jamal Charlo, and I'm not sure I think Jamal Charlo would beat Smith. So
I think Imran. I think Eubank. I think Triple G can take Liam Smith's power, obviously, but I don't think Liam Smith can take Triple G's power.
Liam Smith's got a good chin. He's got a good chin. He has got a good chin.
I tell you what Golovkin won't be able to do. He won't be able to keep the pace of Liam Smith for 12 rounds.
No, I think Triple G.
I think Triple G's on the slide. Don't get me wrong, but that's it's a close fight. It's unfair to say. It's unfair to say Liam can't hang with Triple G because he can.
Yeah, especially now he can hang with him.
Yeah.
But I think to say beats him even at this point is
I'm very confident he beats him.
8-4 Triple G, if not a knockout.
Because I mean,
I think
Golovkin didn't look great against Murata, did he? But he still knocked him out. I mean, he still knocked him out. I mean, Murata can fight. Murata's not no mug. I mean, he's a good fighter.
Was in his prime.
You don't just lose. You don't just lose boxing ability overnight. It doesn't just disappear. It doesn't just vanish.
Yeah. No, but Golovkin's not the fighter that Golovkin was. Golovkin used to be able to put it on people for 12 rounds.
Even if he's half the fighter he once was.
What Golovkin
you could also argue that Liam Smith's not quite the fighter he was a few years ago as well, to be honest.
I think Liam Smith's just as good as he was. I don't think Liam Smith's deteriorated one little bit, mate.
I wouldn't say he's as good as he was a couple of years ago. Still very good, but not quite as good.
The only thing that Golovkin keeps that you don't lose, and that's his power. So does he have the ability, Cole? Does he have the ability to get in the positions to lay them shots in like he used to? That's the one thing I doubt. I don't think he can.
Who are we talking about? Triple G?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've been a little bit harsh on Triple G, but I agreed on the slide a little bit. It'll be a good fight. I can't really call that fight, to be honest with you. I think it'll be a good fight. I don't think either of them. I can see that going to points. I don't think either of them get knocked out.
Golovkin will never get stopped.
Nah, never. His chin's too good.
That's why I said points. So, Box's historian, just a couple of comments on the side. Box's historian can't keep the pace with Smith because Smith beat the undisputed KFC finger-licking Eubank. Okay. He goes on to say it's actually bad for Eubank that Smith has beat him at this stage because Smith is past his peak and Eubank still hasn't had a legit world strap.
Hey Imran, do you think Eubank Jr. can beat Liam Smith in the rematch?
No, not at once.
No?
I mean, he can't. I mean, he got totally brutally knocked out, man. It was as soon as he hit him with one shot, the guy was on spaghetti legs. I mean, yeah, no, he'll get done again.
Imran, he got up too quickly though. He should have let his head settle a little bit. Like
he didn't know where he was. That's why he didn't know where he was.
Game over. Won it. Game over.
You know what it is? Yeah, go on, Andy.
Sorry, I was going to say I think we've done this to death. This topic. I just wanted to get your opinion on a couple of the undercard fights if you watched them. So
let's talk about Joe Parker first in honor of Little Penny.
So Joe Parker goes in against Jack Massey, who's a British level cruiserweight, and didn't win the British title at cruiserweight either. This is his first fight up at heavyweight, and Joe Parker made real hard work of it. I'll come to you with this, Imran. Do you think Joe Parker's done at top level?
Yeah, I think he's been done for a long time, to be honest. I mean, when was the last time Joseph Parker looked good? I mean, I can't even remember. I remember coming on to you. I remember when I came onto your show last time and we were talking about Parker, and I said how disappointed his career's been. I mean, I think his last good performance for me was against Takam or maybe Ruiz. I mean, even that fight, people thought he lost. I mean, I think he's just been disappointing. I think his whole career has been pretty disappointing. Even though he won a world title, I think he's done. I think Joe Joyce smashed him to bits as well in that fight. That was a bad defeat. I mean, he took a bad beating in that fight. Joyce was
the only thing I give him props for is that he came over to Europe and based himself out of Europe and fought some very good fighters over here that he would have never done over in Australia and New Zealand. So he come and test himself, and that's fair play for that.
Yeah. You got to give him credit for that, putting himself out, getting himself out of his comfort zone. But I thought he'd beat Dillian White. Like I thought the AJ fight, fair enough. I mean, might not win that, but the Dillian White fight I thought he'd beat Dillian White, and then he ends up getting beat, and then he fights Chisora and don't even look good against Chisora. Arguably lost. You could say maybe even lost the first fight. I mean, he's just not impressed me. He's just not been that impressive, and even under Andy Lee, he's not really. I think there's something lacking in Joseph Parker.
Imran, I have to agree with you. I think Andy Lee will make a very, very good coach because he knows too much in boxing. He's got too much grounding. But I think Joe Parker's regressed because I think Andy Lee's trying to teach him something that he can't. He's not his natural game. He can't learn it. He was better when he was a bigger fighter and a bit more aggressive. He's tried to make
that pace as well.
Sorry, Lee.
He's lost a bit of that pace as well. He used to be absolutely lightning, didn't he? He's not so much.
Wasn't his previous coach Kevin Barry? Is that his name? Who's out of Vegas?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you argue that it's the case? I mean, I don't want to go in. I think Andy Lee's done a good job because he's facing better opposition now than he was when he was with Kevin Barry.
But he's not beating them, is he? So what's the point of facing opposition?
He's beat some of them, but what I'm saying is he's probably just got a limit to his ability. It don't matter who would coach him.
You say that before he was fighting the likes of Ruiz Jr., AJ. I don't know.
Yeah, got
He
beat
lost
to
that fight
AJ, didn't
too,
she?
I
Beat
reckon.
Ruiz, didn't
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a
that
close
was yeah.
fight. But Carl,
That was
I never thought highly of Joseph Parker. Like, that's why I never really. You could tell early on that this guy's not going to be anything special. He didn't have
Well,
any
that fight
punching power
against
either.
Junior Farr, he was absolutely atrocious, wasn't he? The one in New Zealand.
Even against
Yeah,
Fury.
did Brown knock Far out in like one round after that as well?
Junior Farr also got knocked out in Australia in Cambosa's fight.
He also stunk the place out against Huey Fury, if you remember. I mean, no one even remembers that fight.
Imran.
Yeah.
So just a couple of comments. So Boxing Historian says, how the hell did Josie Parker not just jump on Massey tonight and use his size? I thought being in the Fury camp, he'd have done that tonight. And he goes on to say, I think at a certain stage, the muscle memory they are used to can't adapt to different styles after a certain stage of their career.
I agree with that. Boxer.
Got to give some credit to Massey as well, though.
Very tough, Massey. But I think if he'd have done what Boxing Historian says, Lee, and jumped on him, Massey would have crumbled.
Yeah.
Because whenever Parker did land a big shot, Massey felt it.
But Parker didn't jump on him, did he? It was almost like he wanted to get the rounds in the bank, which is a crazy. He needed to make a statement tonight.
Just makes you wonder, Carl, whether he actually knows anymore how to jump on somebody and finish a fight. Because he had Derek Chisora that second fight. Derek Chisora was all over the place after 3 rounds, and he still didn't finish him. I just don't know whether he's got it left in him. And then that begs the question: Sky have by all accounts, paying him an absolute fortune on this contract. They're going to want something back from him. What do they do with him next? I'll come to you.
Him versus Dubois would be a good fight.
He's a gatekeeper now. He's like a gatekeeper. Like, just feed him to whoever.
That's why it makes sense for Dubois. Still a decent fight for Parker. Dubois needs to start taking like those kind of fights. I think that fight would make sense.
Dubois on BT though.
Yeah. Hold on, lads. Let Sean jump in. He's been quiet for a while. Sean, what do you think on that one, mate?
Yeah, I think he's coming towards the end of his career now, Parker. You know, there was sort of a time where it did have a mini renaissance, but I think now, I mean, Massey come up from cruiserweight. I have to say, I didn't know a great deal about him, but even for him to survive the 10 rounds, that says a lot about where Parker is. Yeah. I think even a guy like Martin Bacoli will beat Parker at this stage. So I think he can forget anything about world titles at this stage of his career now.
And I don't know if you saw it, but Big Fraser Clark called out Joe Parker. So that probably tells you where he thinks Joe Parker's at.
I mean, I personally don't think Daniel Dubois. I don't think Daniel Dubois is world level for me, Lee.
No, I don't either.
I think they need to be very careful how they matchmake him.
I don't think Parker is at this point either, to be honest.
That's
what I mean. That's what I think it makes sense. Yeah.
That's a close fight between them two, to be honest.
Mm.
Okay, guys, moving on.
It makes sense to me.
Moving on to one of the other fights of the night. Echo Esserman, Chris Congo. This was a really close fight, probably a fight of 2 halves. Chris Congo came out quite fast, didn't he? And he looks looking like pretty slick. You know, getting his jab off. Anytime Echo come in, he was timing him quite well. And then there's a swivel point in the fight where Echo's always been known for being very, very fit. And there's a swivel point in the fight where his engine takes over, and by the end of it, Congo's kind of done and holding on for dear life at the end of the fight. Imran, how did you score that fight?
I thought Congo won that fight. I thought, but
because you're anti-Nottingham, that's why, Imran.
No, I just think it was. I think it was close. Don't get me wrong. Like Andy said, Esserman came back in the fight. But I think Congo, he had enough of a lead early on get the decision. I think it was close. I know a lot of people start shouting robbery, you know, after fights and stuff when fights are close. But yeah, I probably edged towards Congo in that one, but it was close. It was close. But I think both guys came out with credit. I think both guys are good welterweights. I think I would like to see Eso Eckerman against Michael Mickinson. I think that'd be a good fight. We've already seen Congo against Michael Mickinson. And
Mickinson's above Esserman's level in my view.
But I mean,
I don't know.
He just got beat by Ortiz. So I mean, he needs to come back with somebody, don't he?
Yeah, Echo's had 4 defenses of the British title now, so he's won it outright. The likelihood is at some point he'll probably move on to a slightly higher level just to test himself, see where he's at. I think the Mickinson fight, Imran, I think that's a good shout. I think that fight could happen.
Yeah. Who wins that one?
Mickinson. Yeah, I'll make it easy for you.
I think Mickinson is a very, very, very good fighter. Probably the best welterweight in the country.
Better than Ben, you reckon?
Yeah. And I'm a Ben fan, as you know.
Yeah.
I've always thought Ben, and I think he's improved loads. I can't comment on Ben at the minute, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big question mark over him. We don't know what Ben we're going to get back to it.
So you know, until he comes back and has a couple of fights, I'm leaving my opinion on Conor Ben to one side, one way or the other.
So Bob's historian says I had Congo winning by 2 rounds. I think the fact Esserman came on strong in the last couple of rounds nicked it for him.
Yeah,
I think Esserman won his rounds clearer, didn't he? There's a lot of the rounds people gave Congo were close.
Yeah, I think so as well. The first round, I'd have given to Echo, but I think a lot of people gave it to Congo.
It's fights like that, really. It's a fucking draw, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's a draw. You couldn't really call it. Couldn't really split it apart.
If the fight had been called a draw, or Congo would have won it by the odd round, I wouldn't be jumping up and down saying it was a bad decision. It was just a very close fight. People see it, you know, when the fights are close like that. I think it's a judge's or a boxing fan's opinion of what they like better in styles. So if you like that kind of slicker kind of jab and counter style of Congo, or do you like the pressure of Echo Escherman? I think sometimes that sways a person's decision on a round, if that makes sense, when they're close. And there was a lot of close rounds in there. Okay, just touching on Richard Riakporhe. I'm gonna need you guys to kind of give me your details on this, because we had a few technical issues with the TV at Coles when this fight was on, so we didn't see it. Am I right in thinking Riakporhe got a stoppage in round 4?
Yeah.
So firstly,
Did we learn anything new about Riakporhe? Is probably the first question.
He's a good fighter. That's what
he's a very odd puncher, Cole, isn't he?
Does he beat Akola?
That's a tough one.
Yes.
I think he does. I think
yes.
He's the best.
I don't think he does.
Really? You think he beats Okoli?
I think he's the best.
Okoli's overrated. Okoli is well overrated.
In what sense? Why do you think that? Why do you think he's overrated?
I don't think he's ever looked that great when he's fought, to be honest. I don't think he's fought anyone of any real magnitude yet.
I think it's only his size.
It is, but that makes a big difference. I mean,
Plus,
I don't think you're going to see the same Okoli come back, Imran. He's taken he's made a lot of changes, management, promoter, trainer, everything. It's all changed. I think maybe he's going to come back, and I think he might have an easy fight coming. But when he next has a big fight, I think he might get humbled.
I mean, we saw Chris Billam Smith jump in at the end, didn't you? That fight's already been done. I mean, they might make that as a big kind of payday before a world title fight. Do you see any other result than Riakporhe beating Billam Smith again?
He beats.
I don't know that. Yeah, it's a close fight.
Do you think Billam Smith's improving?
I don't think it is. I think he'll steamroll Billam Smith. I don't particularly rate Billam Smith, if I'm honest.
He's a tough man, that Billam Smith. He's tough.
I think that's a bit harsh.
He's tough.
He beat him before, didn't he? But
yeah, he has beaten him before, but Billam Smith has improved under McGuigan.
Yeah,
he's got a bit between his. I mean, he's looking good. I've seen a couple of his fights. I think just to write that guy off, I think he's a warrior. He might not.
Nice to see.
He's a warrior.
Don't see
nice to see him like not trying to big up the fight tonight, did they? They just showed each other a lot of respect in the ring. I thought that was quite refreshing.
Seems an odd thing for him to jump in the ring though if they're not going to make that fight, doesn't it, Lee?
But they weren't. They weren't talking as if they were going to fight next.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to make that fight though.
No.
Because
why get in the ring then? What's the point in that?
Yeah, I don't understand it. But one, if not both of them, would be going for a world title this year because that division isn't strong, as we were discussing the other day.
Riakporhe called out all the champions, didn't he? So, you know, I'm not sure.
He beats Makabu.
You beat Makabu, Lee.
I'm not sure what.
Makabu's fighting Badou Jack, right?
Canelo.
You won't fight Canelo.
He's fighting Badou Jack.
Moved up to cruiserweight.
You know the Jake Paul card in Saudi Arabia? He's fighting on the undercard of that.
Is he really? Oh dear. Well, there you go. There's a fight I won't be watching then, Lee.
Yeah.
What an absolute.
Is
there really a boxing world title on an undercard for an influencer's card?
That's an
absolute disgrace. Right now,
it doesn't make any sense.
We ought to boycott any further fights from either of them fighters. Disgraceful.
Yeah, don't quote me on it. It's just what they were talking about the other day, and it made no sense to me either. But yeah, money talks, I suppose.
Jake Paul should be a proper boxer right now, though. He should be fighting. He should be fighting a proper, boxers at this point.
I would laugh if he beats Tommy Fury. It would make me laugh.
Here's the problem, Imran. He's not, is it?
I think he does.
He's fooling everybody, Imran. He's not, is it? He's not
fighting.
But
if he's fighting Tommy Fury, that's a proper boxer.
Yeah, isn't that fight on February?
No, it's not.
It's signed, right, Imran?
I thought that was signed.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Do you really think? Do you really rate Tommy Fury as a fighter?
No, not really.
That's not the same question, is it? Imran said he's a pro fighter, not whether he rates him as a fighter.
He's a pro fighter because he's got a pro record.
Yeah,
it's a boxer though. Like everyone, but everyone is saying that
it'll be the first fighter that Jake Paul's fought that's actually a pro fighter. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Yes.
Which means Jake Paul will have a pro record then.
But Andy,
what made you smile though? Right? We're talking about him, aren't we?
Andy, in contrast, right? If you look at Canelo's first 6 fights, right, they're his opponent, or even Pacquiao's first 6 opponents, they're all cab drivers, man. Like, that's like no one knows them. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Donovan's first 20.
It's different. Different.
It's not the same thing, Lil Penner.
Different.
It's not the same thing. I'm sorry. It's not the same thing because pro fighters, when a pro fighter first starts out, they have no choice but still to work. Unless they get signed by a massive promoter, they have no choice but still to work. So all of them are doing something. All of them are cab drivers, bus drivers, paper boys, office clerks. They're all doing something because they can't.
But in contrast, Jake Paul's opponents are full-time athletes.
Go on, little Penny. You give it him. Go on, little Penny. I'll just sit back now and watch you.
We can't do this again, surely.
with what Andy's saying. However, let's keep the same energy then. Campbell Hatton, Chris Eubank, they've only got the platform that they got because of their fathers. I mean,
Campbell Hatton's fucking useless.
So what I'm saying is, then how is Jake Paul any different from Campbell Hatton or Chris Eubank?
Because Campbell Hatton and Chris Eubank are at least fighting fighters, pro fighters. What Jake Paul's doing is, well, hold on, Imran, let me finish because you've just asked me. What Jake Paul is doing is using the fact that he's got millions and millions and millions of little kids following him, thinking he's amazing, drinking pop out of trainers and getting loads of buys and loads of. He's using that as a platform to fool everybody in the boxing industry. Now, whether the guy can fight or not is still to be seen, in my opinion, because this is my opinion and not Last Bell Boxing's opinion, by the way, what I'm just about to say. I think some of them fights are rigged.
I don't know, man.
I think some of them fights are rigged.
But Andy, you can't ask Jake Paul to fight someone like, I don't know, like a killer or anything. Like,
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but what I'm saying is, don't pretend you're a professional fighter. Don't be calling out Canelo and saying you're going to be fighting Canelo in a couple of years' time when you're fighting retired mixed martial art fighters. Hold on, mixed martial art fighters that aren't even strikers.
But Andy, everyone calls out Canelo, like, because he's the cash cow. Like,
what realistically do they? Come on, the guy's fooling everybody, and because he's got millions of followers, promoters are jumping all over him because they know how much money they're going to make.
But it doesn't help when Floyd Mayweather, the legend of mainstream boxing, is jumping in with these guys as well.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But Floyd Mayweather will do whatever Floyd Mayweather wants to do because, again, he can make as much money as he wants and it don't really matter to him. He don't care what that perception is of boxing because he's done his boxing career. He's not bothered. He's not bothered whether boxing falls on its arse.
It still gives it credibility, Andy, where you don't deserve it.
I know it does. It's wrong.
Andy, how ironic is it that Mayweather's got another fight? Mayweather's super active. He's more active than some of these professional fighters.
It's
you know what?
That's not being active. That's not being active.
That's not active.
He's more active than Tank Davis, his fighter, or was.
He could fight 10 of these guys in one night.
Hey, it's like walking down the shop to get a pint of milk for Mayweather. These fights. That's how easy it is.
It's not even that. So
Andy, boxing historian said, Andy, Eubank has done that, calling out Canelo, etc., for about 10 years.
Agreed. And I've said on this boxing historian, I've said on this channel numerous times that Eubank's never, ever, ever proved himself. Yeah. He's overrated. He's always been overrated. Name me a top level fight that Eubank's beat.
Washed up fighters.
They're all washed up fighters, Imran.
Yeah,
none of them are in the prime. And even then, he's not looked great against the ones that he's beat that have been washed up.
But Imran, but at least who's got a better career, Eubank Jr. or Demetrius Andrade?
Andrade's
been a world champion, Little Penny.
2-weight world champion on that.
Exactly, yeah.
Can't even compare the two.
Yeah, they're not even close.
Eubank's had a world title belt that he found in a cereal box.
Yeah. But I bet Eubank Jr.'s made more money than Andrade, though, Imran.
But are we judging it? How Jake Paul's made more money than Andrade?
Exactly, yeah. Don't mean he's better, does it?
No.
Eubank's fooled everybody for so long.
He can sell a fight, though.
He talks
because of his surname. He sells because of his surname.
He talks a very good fight, and everybody thinks. I mean, they were talking tonight about the Eubank genes. What does that even mean? The Eubank genes.
It's a shot away. That's what it means.
The Eubank genes. So because his dad had a chin like iron and could fight like anybody else, then automatically Junior's going to be the same as her. It don't work like that, does it?
No.
And Eubank Junior's not proved it. He hasn't proved it. He's not done what his old man did.
You know, the sad thing is, Andy, I actually think that, you might disagree, but I actually think that Eubank could have actually won a world title. Not to say that would have made him brilliant, because there's been many. Charles Martin won a world title, but against the right opponent, he probably could have won a world title. But I don't know why. For some reason, they never ever navigated his career to actually win a world title, so he could actually say that at least I've been a world champion.
Well, someone doesn't share Eubank Jr.'s confidence, do they?
Yeah,
because they either priced themselves out of fights, which is publicly known, or they went a different route. I mean, he started going down the IBO route. Crying out loud.
But thing is, Carl, even talking about Golovkin pricing himself out, however, he would have got battered by Golovkin. So
maybe somebody knows that in his camp, Imran.
Yeah, senior Cole. It will be senior. Senior's not stupid. He's been around the boxing game way too long. So when that contract was on Eubank's table, which it was, by the way, before Kell Brook took the Golovkin fight, it was on the table, signed by Triple G, and he never signed it.
Yeah,
because of money. That was the
But and even if he lost that fight, it would have aged well on his career, because Triple G is a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no shame in losing.
Of course, but they wanted this myth, didn't they? This Eubank myth that he's unbeatable, that he's got a chin of iron, that he has an engine better than anybody else's, and he's quicker than anybody else, and he throws more shots than anybody else. This myth has carried him through for 10 years.
Anyway, without
fighting anyone top end.
One question I'd like to ask him, man, seeing as I've not brought Leewood up to yet tonight.
Yeah.
I know Lee will get disappointed if I don't mention it. So here we go, man.
You're going to ask me about the Lara fight?
I am. So give us your breakdown prediction. Then I'll come to Little Penny afterwards. Don't disappoint me, Imran.
I'll put it this way, right? I think it's a great fight. And my estimation of Leewood has gone up since I saw him. I remember I came onto your show and I said that Kanzu would beat him, if you remember, and he beat Kanzu, right? Then I actually said on your show that Leewood would get beat by Mick Conlan, and he beat Mick Conlan in probably one of the best fights I've seen, right? And now he's going up against, basically, in my opinion, the best of the lot in a monster against Lara. So firstly, you got to give credit to him stepping up to the plate time and time again. And he's proved in his last fight he's a warrior. He can get up the canvas in the first round, come back and stop a guy in the last round. So he's obviously got great fitness, great engine, great chin. But this is a very difficult fight to call. I actually think Leewood's the better boxer. But I just don't know if anyone can fight with this guy. I think he has to box a very smart fight. So I think he's capable of winning it. I just don't know whether like it's 50-50 for me. But if you were to put my neck on the line, right, I'm probably gonna say Leewood points. But I wouldn't be surprised if Lara knocks him out, to be honest. Like, it's that kind of fight. It's 50-50 for me.
And what about you? I mean,
we're jumping off, lads. No, so I've got to go, lads. Take it easy.
While we've got that break, I just wanted to welcome a new person in the site. I don't think we've seen before, in Adam Hurley. So welcome to the show, Adam. Sorry, man.
Give us your breakdown, fella.
I agree with Imran that I think Lara is probably the best 126 fighter in that division. I think if Lara, say for example, you know that Conlan Leewood fight, you know, where Leewood got knocked down in the first round. If that was Lara, Leewood would have stayed down because the punching power of both fighters are completely different. I think Lara, I think I can see Leewood like outboxing Lara, but I think Lara's just got too much power, and he's so used to fighting in Britain now. I don't think it bothers him anymore fighting fighting out of his home country. So I'm picking Lara by KO.
Lil Penny, he hasn't stepped into the Lions Den in Nottingham yet, mate.
Is that the venue that Carl Froch fought at? I remember he fought what's his name?
Butte.
Yeah, when it was
Butte.
Yeah, is that the same venue?
Let me just pick a comment up in the side because I don't want Boxing Historian talking to himself. So, Boxing Historian says, I think with Wood being a good brawler and Lara being a brawler, I honestly don't know how to call it, but I'll go for a Wood stoppage round 10.
Stoppage.
I don't think it goes that long, boys. I don't think it goes that long.
No, I think it's a shootout.
Yeah, I think this will be a knockout either way. I don't, because it's in Wood's hometown. I don't think it's gonna like run around in the ring. I think he'll go at it too. I think this will be like one of those fights where like boxing fans that would love to watch because it's kind of like with Hatton and Pacquiao. They're both aggressive fighters.
Little Penny, why'd you bring
Pacquiao will get knocked out or Hatton will get knocked out?
Why'd you bring everything back to Pacquiao?
No, I'm saying because that fight was like it was two great brawlers colliding. You know what I mean?
I think you do Lee would have missed justice by calling him a brawler as well. Personally, he's a better.
No, he's not a brawler. He can box.
Yeah.
So last topic of the night, and then I'm going to get some sleep because I've been traveling all day. So next weekend, let's call it Better BF because people like to come up with different versions. Better BF versus Anthony Yard. Let's all give our views. We'll cover it more in depth next week, but just to finish the night off on a nice friendly terms, let's go to Sean first. Give it a Sean.
Yeah, I think Better BF steamrolls Yard really. I don't particularly rate Yard. I think people take a lot of confidence from the Kovalev performance because he did do well in spells, but I can't see anything other than a Better BF knockout, probably around 4 or 5 rounds, I think.
And then just before I come to you, Andy, I'm just going to pick a couple of comments up. So, Boxing Historian says, doesn't matter if it's Woods Town, Little Penny, because only 2 men can do a job. And then he's having a chat with Adam earlier. So, Andy, over to you. How do you see the Better BF fight going?
I think very similar to Sean. I think I don't think Yard is world level. I don't think he's a very good boxer. He has power, but I think that's about all he has. I don't think he's a very good boxer. I think Better BF deals with him quite convincingly, and I think he knocks him out in about round 6 or 7.
Okay, Imran, over to you.
Yeah, Better BF's too good. The best light heavyweight, in my opinion. I think he stops Yard. I think Yard would gas after like maybe a couple of rounds when Better BF puts that pressure on him. Those muscles just won't be able to keep up. And yeah, I just think round 5 or 6, I think Better BF will drown him.
Like Wood, Lara, this fight is also good. I actually like this fight because one of these guys will get knocked out. So, but Beterbiev to me, in a very entertaining fight by KO.
I'm going a bit later than you guys. I think Yard will be quite elusive to start with, so I'm going for Better BF to stop him round 8. But what I would say, I don't agree with your comment regarding being the best light heavyweight.
You don't think he beats Bivol?
No, in a word.
I also don't think Better BF beats Callum Smith.
No, I think he beats Callum Smith. He KOs Callum Smith.
I think Callum Smith's an absolute monster at 175.
It's all about timing.
What? I don't know about monster, Andy.
Yeah, he is, mate. He is. He's people take a lot of away. People take a lot away from Callum Smith from the Canelo performance. He was absolutely done at the weight in that fight, and he still lasted 12 rounds with one arm, by the way, because he burst his arm in like the 2nd or 3rd round, and he lasted 12 rounds.
I think he beats Canelo. I think he beats Canelo at 175, and people are thinking I'm crazy there, but It's not the first time I predicted something.
Nah, he doesn't beat Canelo at 175.
Canelo's not half the fight at 175.
Callum Smith's a different animal at this weight, little Penny. A different animal.
Andy, I think I'd agree with you in the sense that I think Callum Smith has a better chance against Beterbiev, but I think Bivol would totally outclass Callum Smith. I think Bivol would outclass anybody apart from Beterbiev. So stylistically, I'd agree with you that I'm not saying he beats Beterbiev, but I think he has more of a chance against Beterbiev than against Bivol, because I think Bivol is just a master boxer. And I think Bivol might go down the fighter of the decade. He's that good, mate. Possibly.
Yeah. I agree.
He can adapt his style. Bivol can't he? He can adapt. It's class.
Just before we end the stream, Carl, I'm conscious that Adam's joined us. Adam Hurley's joined us for the first time, and we've not really picked up on a couple of his comments. He's said that he's more into the heavyweight rather than the lighter weights. So he's a little bit lost on some of the conversation we've had tonight. But he's just spoke about Joseph Parker. He says he likes him, and he wants Joseph Parker to get a big fight next time out. And he said, "How about Jared Anderson from the States?"
Oh, Jared Anderson would kill Parker.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, but he's not fought anybody, little Penny. Again, he needs to get over. He needs to get a decent red. And listen, I believe he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. But let's just calm down with it. He'll kill this person and kill that person. He ain't been in with anyone yet.
Yeah, because they're scared of him.
No, because it's all right it's all right knocking around that North American level. But let's throw him in with a European stroke fringe world level, and let's see how good he is then. Do I need to mention Jeff Lacer?
Carl, I agree. Carl, I actually agree with you that sometimes some of these North American fighters, and I don't mean to be racist here or anything, but like the black fighters,
it's factual.
They don't fight. They take too long to develop. Like they wait until like the 30th or 40th fight until they fight somebody. They gotta get, like, for example, another example is Boots Ennis. It's like, oh my god, this guy's supposed to be a superstar, right? Hasn't fought anybody. He's gonna end up like Andrade soon.
Carl, just to say that Jeff Lacey was a top fighter. It was just that Calzaghe was something special. I had to get that in there.
I know, but all I'm saying is, and you know damn well the comparison that I'm putting in, man. You just thought you'd get Calzaghe. I know why you're talking about Calzaghe. That's for another day. But we hear about these fighters over in the States, don't we? Who are meant to be the best things since sliced bread, and quite often they get found out, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not high on Anderson, to be honest. I not really fought anybody at this point.
No, he hasn't fought. Let's put a bit of perspective on it. He's 22.
Yeah.
And that's nothing in an heavyweight division for an heavyweight fighter. Sorry.
Yeah.
They don't even mature till they're 30.
Mm.
You know, heavyweight fighters can go on till they're 40. Do you know what I mean?
But he's the next American dream if you listen to North America.
But that's the thing is, Carl, they're that desperate.
Yeah,
the Americans are that desperate for a golden boy in the heavyweight division. Because Deontay Wilder, although he's reigned as WBC champion, he's not engaged with the public.
No. He's engaged with the no. And Andy, I disagree with you there. He might not be engaged with the common man per se, but he's very engaged with the African American community. Because I'm with I know a few African Americans, like with live streams and stuff, and he's involved there. But he's not like a Mike Tyson or like those sort of like.
That's my point, little Penny. Is that at one stage, the biggest prize in any sport in the world was the heavyweight title. In America now, boxing is maybe the fourth watched sport, the fifth watched sport.
Yeah, because it's not on mainstream TV. Like, because you have to.
And
pay
also,
for it.
I'd add that the two biggest stars are non-Americans. So Tyson Fury and Canelo are probably two biggest stars.
No, I'd put AJ in there, Carl. From a prize fighter point of view,
no.
In
terms of awareness in America, no. Sorry,
Carl, I'll give you an example. Carl, can I give you an example?
Go on, then.
Carl, can I give you an example? Okay, Fury versus Usyk, Wilder versus AJ. So both of them are in London, right? I reckon the AJ Wilder fight will do more pay-per-views than Usyk Fury.
No, I don't agree. I just don't agree.
What, worldwide, not a chance.
AJ's a prize. He's a true prize fighter. He brings in the revenue.
But in terms of who's known in America, are you trying to tell me that Tyson Fury is not better known to the average American than Anthony Joshua?
But the thing is, a lot of Americans, they don't follow boxing, so I don't think that. I reckon if
Lil Penny, even people that watch boxing in America only watch American boxing. That's just how it works. They don't get to see, apart from now that his own shows certain things, they don't get to see boxing in Europe.
Yeah.
Most of them, most of them will only know Anthony Joshua for getting knocked out in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. But Andy, you know that Fury Wilder rematch, right? I think that did what 700,000 pay-per-view in America. Imran, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Something around that.
Yeah. Now, if AJ say fought Wilder in Las Vegas on a pay-per-view, I think that does more than that in America.
I don't, Little Penny. I really don't think AJ's profile's that high in America.
AJ's on the way out now. Anyway, I think. I think he's. I don't think he's on the way out.
Prize fighter point of view, right? Like the prize fighter, AJ's made way more money than Fury. Because you know what I mean?
Little Penny, we keep coming back to money, but money. I mean, like, yeah,
I'm talking profile.
His those checks are drying up now. He's lost a couple of fights. Fury's on the rise. You see, Fury's gonna fight Usyk. He's on the rise. His star power is increasing, and people have realized he's better than AJ as a fighter. Whereas before there was a bit of a doubt still.
And don't forget that Fury had a massive top rank deal. So I won't talk too quickly about who's
they lost money on
the most.
Which they lost money on, Carl, by the way.
But they still paid it to Fury. So what I'd say is I wouldn't be so quick in saying who's
But Carl, in contrast, Matchroom never lost money on AJ.
But it doesn't mean the person's big. It doesn't mean the contract's bigger, does it? It just means Matchroom are better at business.
But AJ's contract is way bigger than Fury's.
No, Little Penny, there's one thing that we're kind of missing out here on, and that is that in those fights with Wilder, Tyson Fury engaged with the American public because he's got the sort of personality that sits really well with them. You know, the kind of brash, very confident, outspoken type of character. That kind of sits very well with a lot of Americans because a lot of Americans are very similar, very outspoken, very confident, not scared to give their opinions. So Tyson Fury resonates with them. AJ's a completely different character, very corporate, doesn't say anything wrong, speaks very nicely. He wouldn't enthuse American boxing fans. Sorry. They wouldn't get up for it. They wouldn't buy the pay-per-views. Not on the same scale as they have done for Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm going to bring the stream to an end, guys. 1:10 in the morning in the UK. Sean, thanks for your attendance. Imran, great to see you, fella. Speak again soon. Little Penny the same. Enjoy your day, Little Penny. Thank you for all the comments on the side. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on Thursday at 7 p.m. in the UK. Cheers, guys. Take care.